Hello and welcome to another episode of Modernist Mixing. Today we'll be mixing the song Golden by We Were Astronauts from their Artificial Light EP, which was released in 2014. The tracks were made available by Produce Like a Pro, so thanks for that. What I did is I imported all the tracks into my mixing template, and the blue ones are the drums, the greys are the bass, the greens are the guitars, the purples are the keys, and red and pink colors are the vocals. The multi-tracks also contain some vocal effects tracks, so I put them into these light purple tracks. And I recorded the original track into my project so we can have a reference towards the end of my mix. So if you're interested in how I set up my mixing template, I have a dedicated video which explains all of the inserts, all of the routing, etc. So you can have a look at that. So I'll start listening to the track, and after some basic balancing, I'll start with the drums. Okay, let's start with the drums. Yes, okay, so these are live drums, and I'll use Melda Auto Align and make sure that they're phase aligned properly. By the way, what I did was the tracks came with some sampled trigger tracks, and I didn't like the sound of them. So what I did is I used these sample trigger tracks to trigger my own samples. So I might not bring them in, depends on the raw tracks. But if I do, I'll use the sampled triggered tracks that were provided with the multi-tracks. So I'll run Auto Align somewhere where all of the tracks are playing, so the toms, the hi-hats and everything, and have it analyzed for about 4 or 5 seconds. Okay, let's see. Yeah, tiny bit of body is restored. While I'm at it, I'll reduce the volume of these effects tracks because they seem to be booming a lot. So reverse cymbal, these can be panned left and right, obviously. These two are also together, these two are together. Also these two are together. Okay, I'll deal with those later. I'll just pull the volume down for now. Tambourine can stay in the middle. Okay, let's start with a kick. Obviously a lot of bleed. Wonder why it's not picking this up. Yep. No, too much bleed. I'm gonna have to bury this and use the trigger. Let's see what the trigger sounds like. So this is the original trigger. This is mine. I'll stick with this for now. Let's check the snare. Turn on my effects because I want to send these to the drum ambience. I'll trigger some reverb or room sounds from my trigger. Yep, sounds fine. Check the toms. Okay, let's see. Obviously a lot of bleeds. Turn the volume up. Good. Still a bit too long to my taste. Yep. Help them out with the trigger. Yep, sounds good. So the hats were kind of harsh. Yep, sounds good. Overheads. So what I also did is I copied one of the overhead tracks into the fake room track, which is a stereo track that has a reverb on it. So gives a bit of a width. Sounds okay to me. Let's hear what these do. I'll check the tambourine first. Okay, let's check these. These have a lot of low-end information, so let me pay some attention to these. Dude. Okay. Get rid of the low end. There we go. Try again. Let's see how they sound with the drums. There we go. Alright, let's see what these are. Check what these are. You know, I'll come back to these once everything else is in place. Yeah, this has a lot of low-end information, so we can get rid of that. Same with this one. Get rid of this. Remove. Okay, let's go on with the bass. A bit of a noise is going on. Let me just see if I can get these out. Yep. Yep, sounds good. Let's see what the guitars are like. This looks like an EBO. These could use a little of grit, so I'll use the Devil Lock here as well. See how that helps. Yep. Yep, helps. Let me see what else we have. Okay, let's see what this is. This is... Oh, these are the vocal effects. I want the keys. Okay, so these are pianos. So obviously pianos need to squeeze in a bit because they have a lot of low end information and some high mids. Yep. Yep, too much saturation. I'll come back. What I'll do is I'll delay one side a bit and make it wider. Yep, much better. Let's see what these are. Okay, let's see them all together. So drums and bass and guitars and keys. Okay, let's look at the vocals, the main vocals first, and I'll feed in the backing vocals underneath it. So these are the mains.
Let me say to you, and if you leave before the morning, just leave a note beside my bed. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. We'd all be golden.
Okay, so this is the chorus vocals. So I just copied and pasted. Well, cut and paste the choruses onto the lower track. So this will have a little bit of more volume and some more delays and a tiny bit more reverb.
Undercover lover, I can be whatever gets you through. I can be a superhero.
Okay, let's see what these do. I'll turn on my channel strip.
Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden.
Okay.
Leave before the morning. Just leave a note beside my bed. Whoa.
What I'll do is I'll add microshift to this vocal and I'll make it stereo, obviously. There we go. Because this seems to be like a double of the main vocal. So to some reverb.
We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. We'd all be golden. We'd all be golden.
Let's see what these tracks are doing.
With the punches, let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. We'd all be golden. We'd all be golden. Whoa, let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. We'd all be golden. We'd all be golden. We can find adventure in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what you got till it's gone, but you knew it all along. And if you leave before the morning, just leave a note beside my bed. Oh, whoa. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. We'd all be golden. We'd all be golden. Don't know what you got till it's gone, but you knew it all along. And if you leave before the morning, just leave a note beside my bed. Oh, whoa, whoa. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden. All be golden. We'd all be golden.
So I'm just clipping off the transients of the snares to give the final limiter some more headroom.
We were somewhere else, we'd all be golden.
and lift the vocals trebles a bit more.
Let's roll with the party. We were somewhere else, we love to go there. Let's roll with the party. We were somewhere else, we love to go there. Let's roll with the party. We were somewhere else, we love to go there. We love to go there.
Okay, so the moments of truth. I'll bring in the original mix and I'll try to line them up with the mix I did. So I guess this is where it all comes back in. Let me see. There's like 3 pumps here. Yeah, so this should be aligned. So I'll solo this and I'll play it a bit. So this goes directly to my main house. It doesn't go through my mastering chain or anything. So this is what the band has released, and I'll A/B it between the mix I did. So let's see.
We were somewhere else, we love to go there. Let's roll with the party. We were somewhere else, we love to go there. With the party. We were somewhere else, we love to go there. Let's roll with the party. We were somewhere.
Yeah, surprisingly close. I have the kick and the snare hitting a bit harder than the mix.
Let's roll with the party. We were somewhere else, we love to go there. Let's roll with the party. We were somewhere else, we love to go there. We love to go there. We love to go there. Venture in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what you got till it's gone, but you knew it all along. Venture in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what you got till it's.
My slap echo is a tiny bit too loud compared to the original. They have a bit more dry during the verses.
We can find adventure in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what you got till it's gone. But adventure in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what you got till it's gone, but you knew it all along. And if you.
So I feel the kick and bass groove in mine, it's a tiny bit more prominent. Yeah, that's the word. It's a tiny bit more prominent. It's not louder, but it's prominent. And the kick is a bit hard to hear in the original mix, especially with the boom, boom, boom bass line.
You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what you got till it's gone, but you knew it all along. And if you leave before, we can find adventure in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what you got till it's gone, but you knew it all along. And if you leave before the morning, just leave a note beside.
Obviously, they've left the harmony vocals in the middle. I just spread them with the micro shift, if you remember.
My bed. Oh, whoa, whoa. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be go there. Let's roll. We were somewhere else, we'd all be go there. Let's roll with the punches. We were somewhere else, we'd all be go there.
Depending on how you normally like the snares, I mean, they've set the snare so it has a lot of low end information and it has a long reverb, and whenever the snare hits, you can hear the reverb tail. I kind of like my drums to hit a bit more faster and shorter, so it's basically transient and it doesn't have too much lingering on information. So my snares are a bit more in the high end side and a bit more shorter and have less reverb that you can hear, especially in the busy sections of the song. No snare here.
We can find adventure in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone. People say you don't know what.
Hey, you can hear the ambience in the snare track during the verses where there's not too much distortion guitars going on, but listen to the original, you'll hear a longer reverb tail.
We can find adventure in the unknown. You're not living in your comfort zone.
So for some reason the snare trigger is only triggering the lower hand. The bottom mic, I don't want this, I want the rooms and a tiny bit of top. Yeah, sounds similar now, but mine is a tiny bit more aggressive. It has a tiny bit more bite, especially with the kicks. The groove is clearly audible, but during the choruses of the original mix, it kind of gets lost. Yeah, overall, I would say I'm like 90% really close to where the original mix is. My drums, like I said, tend to have a bit more bite, a bit more aggressiveness to them because I use clippers and not compressors. And I usually use like transient designers instead of compressing the drums. So the attack and the length of the drum hits are a bit shorter and the attack is a bit louder. So in the end, when you add those up, you get a more aggressively played like sounding drum track. So this is my mix, and what I'll do is I'll have a rest, come back after having a cup of tea, and then listen to it on my speakers and through the Slate VSX system and see if I need to tweak anything. And if I do, I'll do that, and I'll print the track and I'll leave the track link in the description so you can download the mix I did. Download the tracks off the Produce Like a Pro website, which I'll also leave a link for. I thank the band. I thank Produce Like a Pro website for making these available. And I hope this was interesting and useful, and see you on the next video.